think I'm live. I'm alive. I have scrolly window, but I have a red live, so that is me assuming that I'm live. So if I am indeed live and you're here and you can see me and you can hear me, give me a little hashtag live in the comments and I'll give you a prize. Don't have any prizes, but I do have the sun shining through my window, creating some horrific glare off of my spectacles. So I'm just going to warble until somebody actually can confirm that I am here. So as you can see, I'm coming live from Dale McElhinney's account. That is because Emma McElhinney is allowed on Facebook, but not allowed to do lives on Facebook for no apparent reason. We don't know why. It's a temporary thing. It keeps telling me temporarily to protect the community. I apologise if I have not been protective of you. So, yes, here we are, live, 28th of July, 5 p.m. No one's talking to me. So, I'm just going to kick off. So, this is actually a topic that was determined by a lovely lady within this group who wanted to know more information about some of the more advanced coaching that we do, but well, I'm not going to talk about the coaching that we do. I'm going to talk specifically, well, actually no, it is one of the more advanced areas of coaching that we do. And it is probably the most important part of what we do here at Team EMW. So everybody thinks that in order to get the body of their dreams and the body that they want, they just need some things. You just need to know what to eat, when to eat, and how to exercise and when to exercise. Now, my challenge back to that is most people will have done your Weight Watchers and your Slimming World and your keto and your intermittent fasting and your Cambridge and your whatever. So if it was that, if that was the case, nobody would be here in this group. Everybody would be operating where they want to operate. They would be wearing the clothes in the size 10, size 12, whatever it is they want. No one would have any challenges. So that in itself tells us that there's something else. There's something else missing that isn't catered for within your standard diet clubs. Now, allow me some time to have a little bit of a rant about your Slimming Worlds and your Weight Watchers, etc., etc. Now, they do work because they work on the principle of you consume less calories than you burn, you will lose body fat. So they do work. The principles work. Points, whether it's points or sins or whatever, it all boils down to calories. Now, very recently, Weight Watchers business plan was about, I don't know if it was leaked or whether it was published, but basically their business plan is set up on repeat customers. Which means when you say, or when somebody says, or when your friend says, oh, Weight Watchers really worked for me, and when the weight started going back on, I went back, that tells me it's not worked. Because if it worked, you wouldn't need to go back. Okay, so their business plan and Slimming World is based on repeat customers. Okay, so if you've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time you stop, the weight goes back on, it's not working. Because it's not a real long-term solution for you. So I'm going to just double check on my own Facebook because I'm getting crickets, man. Crickets! Don't leave me hanging, ladies. This is this shit is good. This shit is good. Anyway, right, so no one's watching, fine. So yes, so that's my rant. Now the other rant that I have, and I spoke about to a lovely lady yesterday, about when you put your sensible head on and you think with common sense, anything that tells you you can eat all you want pasta and it's going to help you lose weight, alarm bells should be ringing. Okay, alarm bells should be ringing. I went through this myself a few years back before I started doing what I do, and it's one of the triggers for me doing what I do. And they're like, you won't want to eat as much pasta as you can handle. And I'm like that, watch me. Like, you won't want to because you won't want it. Watch me. Like, seriously, I can eat a lot, and I do, can eat a lot, and I did eat all the pasta, and I managed to gain 7 pounds in a week. So yes, there you go figure. Okay, so today's piece is all about the missing link, the missing bit, and this missing bit that I'm going to talk about is what stands us apart from other coaching and what stands us apart from your cheapo group coaching models. Okay, so it's about you, it's what's going on here, okay, not just what's going on here and what's going on here. Okay, that's exercise and not flailing wildly. So the thing is, people, this is not fair. So people who want to lose weight and want to change, they don't want to be the person that they are now. They don't want to be all or nothing in their food. They don't want to be so negative about themselves. They don't want to feel shit when they look in the mirror. They want to be able to pick out any clothes that they want, feel good, look awesome, have their husband grabbing their arse, chasing them around. They want to be the envy of their friends. They want to have other people look at them. And a lot of people say that they don't, but everybody deep down, when we're being very, very honest, we want to be noticed and we want to be applauded for being successful. And whether it's right or be it wrong, perception is if you're lean and you've lost lots of weight or lost any weight and you're lean and you're happy and you're confident, ergo you're successful. Okay? So we have to obviously change a lot about who we are in the material world. If you don't like who you are right now or what you look like, then we need to change that. So this is an area that we really excel at, and it's an identity shift piece. How do we take you from the here and now, where you're not happy, not confident, etc., to being the person that you want to be, who is very typically somebody who wants to be healthy, lean, not have to worry about it, not have loads of effort in their weight loss. It's just this new version of themselves is just the person they want to be with no issue. Okay, but how do we do that? Like, that's a huge gap. And if it was easy, we'd all be doing it, but there's a lot of skill and there's a lot of knowledge and there's a lot of qualifications that both myself and Clara have done to be able to coach this, right? So for you guys, like, I'm not going to divulge one-to-one coaching here because I can't do it. There's multiples of one people watching today. But so I want you to think about, in your head, who do you want to be? Describe the person that you want to be. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be your physique. It can be, I want to be a person that takes risks. I want to be a person that says yes to things. I want to be a person that puts themselves up for promotion. I want to be a person that stands up to themselves. I want to be a person that challenges the man that stands in front of them at the queue in the supermarket. You know, there's loads of different things. I want to be more assertive. I want to be more... And I spoke to a lady earlier on this afternoon who were talking about finances, and I said to her, I was like, you know, money is a huge thing for a lot of people. And she's like, oh, I just wish I was one of those people. I was like, well, don't wish it. Start being one of these people that sees money as a thing. It's not an emotional crutch. It's a resource that helps us get things that we want and do things that we want. Anyway, so describe that person in your head. And then think about, how would you describe yourself now? Like, what do you say about yourself? How would you describe yourself to somebody? And then notice the gap. What is the difference? And for most people, there's quite a big gap. And there might be smaller gaps in certain areas and bigger gaps in other areas. And it can be huge and it can be overwhelming, completely overwhelming. And I get that. And the size of that gap, though, doesn't differentiate whether how hard it's going to be or how easy it's going to be to become that person. But when you think about this person, the person that you want to be versus the person you are, what is stopping you? What stops you from going along that line? Now, very typically, that can be time, money, belief. So time, I'm too busy, everybody else comes first, yada, yada, yada. All the normal reasons. But yet, on the flip side, everybody wants to put themselves first more, because typically, this is a generalisation, most people here are mums, wives, managers, whatever. They all have other people that they put in front of themselves, but yet they still want to put themselves first. They still want to do more for themselves. They still want to better themselves, better their health, etc., etc., etc. So by using time, because other things come first, it's then giving yourself permission to keep putting yourself at the back of the queue. So that's one thing. So if you're thinking that time is a reason, and you get people that go, oh, my time's different from everybody else's, ego in check. Everybody has issues with time. Okay, it's how we manage it that makes a difference. Money. Big decisions around money are things that we might typically run away from, especially if we're lacking in confidence. That's a huge thing. And, or this is a value piece. So most people want to have more self-esteem and more confidence, right? But that is equivalent of how valuable you feel you are. But then if you say, I'm not doing that thing because it's too expensive, I'll just go back to Weight Watchers at £5 a week. Again, that's giving yourself permission to devalue yourself. Okay, so that's another thing. You're not operating like the person you want to be. And the other thing is belief. Huge belief. Now, it's not my job. I'm not here to tell you that you should all change. That's, if you want to change, that's entirely your prerogative, your decision, okay? So that's not what I'm talking about, belief. Belief is trying so many different things that haven't worked that you now are just stuck and you can't believe that anything can work. The challenge we face there is, I can share with you all the testimonials we've got. We've got over 300. We have a huge success rate. We have amazing testimonials. And, sorry, my headphones were plugged in there. We have all these different things that hold us back from being the person we want to be. And most of all, it does come down to belief. But you don't need to 110% believe you can do anything. In fact, I did a testimonial for a lady, I'm not going to name her name, but a testimonial video from a lady who's just finished up with her first 90 days with us and she's continuing on for another 90 days. But she openly said, I was so cynical because I've tried all these different things before, nothing had worked. What is different? But she was different from most other people because she was willing to take a chance. She was willing to try. You know, she was prepared to take action. So you don't need to have 110% belief in yourself. Most people doubt themselves in most areas, especially when it's things that they've never done before. But it's about ripping off the plaster and actually taking control and, you know, knowing that you're not broken and knowing that all the things that you've done before haven't actually been specifically made for you. Group coaching is a one-size-fits-all, or your online coaching without any interaction with anybody is a one-size-fits-all. So the thing isn't your fault if you've tried different things that haven't worked. It's nothing to do with you. It's just the things that you've tried haven't been adapted for you, or they don't take into account your family or your lifestyle or your hormones or anything. So please don't think that it's on you that they've not worked. It's just because the things that you've been doing haven't been specific to you. So I hope that makes sense. So thinking about your blockers: cost, time, belief. They're the big three things. The person that you want to be, so the initial person that you are describing, do they have these issues? Do they have lack of belief in themselves? Do they use money as a reason? Do they use time as a reason? Other people as a reason, always put themselves last as a reason? Chances are no, because if everybody, when they describe themselves in the future, they don't want to have anything that holds them back. So, see, everyone has blockers. You know, no one is the best, the 100% best person themselves that can never be improved. No one, because if you ever see yourself as being perfect and there is no getting better, I don't believe that there is anybody out there that does that. If they do, then they have a huge, huge ego. Okay? So the thing is, like, everyone has blockers, everyone has embedded beliefs, and everybody has a lifetime of habits behind them. If you think about all the things that you do, they all come from the past. They all come, most of the things that we do and why we do them and how we do them all come from our childhood. So if you think about the things that were instilled in you as a child, so very typically when it comes to food, mum always being on a diet, or mum being cripplingly overweight, or things, you know, all of these types of things. Another lady that I spoke to last week, I think it was, you know, we were talking about her coming on to a client. She goes, oh no, can't afford that. And then she very openly said, I can't actually afford that. It's just my mum and dad were always tight with their money. And that's a belief that she has. She's using that I can't afford it reason. Not because she can or she can't, but because it's been instilled. So everybody has all of these things that they're not always easily identifiable. They're not always, they're normally deeply embedded, is basically what I'm saying. So what we're trying to do when we're doing an identity shift, which is what we do with our clients, is we need to work on uncovering what they are. You know, what has been stopping people from overcoming yo-yo dieting, what has been stopping people overcoming emotional eating, what has been stopping people self-sabotaging. And once we start identifying that and understanding and working and figuring out who it is we want to be in the future, and that's a key bit, who do we want to be in the future, and start operating like that person, that means that we're actually getting to the crux of the issue. And when we're doing that in conjunction with changing our eating, getting new lifestyle habits, getting our body moving correctly, getting our bodies moving the right way, using the right movements, being a very efficient, enjoying all of this stuff at the same time, and we start seeing results, we start operating like the person we want to be, because we've been thinking about that person all that time. So essentially, when we were talking about identity shifting, we call it something really boring, our unique identity shift process. We get to be the person that we want to be. So we take somebody from trying to lose weight or trying to be healthy, and we are moving them towards that person who is just healthy and lean and happy and confident and wearing the clothes that they want to wear. So does that make sense? Give me a 1 in the chat box if that makes sense. I'm just checking. Anybody there? Anyone at all? Feel as if I am just talking to myself? Nothing at all. Alright, so that is all about being the person that we want to be. So my urge to you guys is, if you're not happy where you are, and I see comments every day and I see posts every day that people are not happy and they really want to make a change. Who really wants to make a change? You know, there's a difference between really want to make a change and doing it versus just talking about it. And you know, many people, the sad thing is, most people won't do anything. Most people will just stay where they are, or get worse and more unhappy and bigger and unhealthier. Most people will, and that is sad fact. I mean, I think, what was the most latest stat? 89% of women, I don't know how big the sample size was, were unhappy with their body. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people unhappy with their body. And going through the numbers that I know of the people that I speak to, 30-40% of them are actually willing to, you know, be bold, take action, do a big decision. And it is a big decision. It's a scary decision to work with anybody to do something that is going to change your life, you know. But that is the person that they want to be. They want to be the person that takes action, and they want to be the person that becomes this description that they have in the future, who is leaner, happier, healthier, more attractive, making people jealous, shoving 2 fingers up at their ex. You know, there's so much more than, you know, just fitting into skinny jeans again. So yeah. So think about my actions to you are, A, think about this future version of you that you want to be, and not just I want to be a size 10. You know, think about how you operate. Do you want to be a type of person that is able to go and do a burlesque class? Do you want to be the type of person that jumps out of a plane? Type of person that goes swimming and doesn't give 2 shits if they've got cellulite? And then describe who you are just now, and how you talk about yourself just now, and figure out that gap. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? And there will be loads of things. Well, there might not be loads of things, but normally there's loads of things. Normally it comes down to those 3 things: money, time, belief. But think about, of those 3 things, how much of those are actually true versus how much are just things you're telling yourself that's a perception and not fact. And that is a really important part, the perception versus fact. Things that you believe to be true, but you've just not made up a story in your head. It's just beliefs that you have that are stopping you from moving forward. So yeah, that is my wise words of today. This shit is advanced. If you're here just for a meal plan and exercise plan, not the right place for you, sorry. But this is the stuff that changes lives, and this is the stuff that gets permanent results if you want it. And most people, well, a lot of people don't need it, and that's fine. But a lot of people, in my experience, and a lot of people in the last few years that this shiz has worked for and continues working for. And if you don't believe me, if you're going, oh, cynical, just go and read Lisa Swallow's post. She's just turned 40 and she's had an amazing year since working with us. And go to teamemw.com/testimonials. Scroll down to the bottom and watch some of the videos of our success stories. And yeah, just absorb the joy. Anyway, does anybody have any final questions before I go? Because I am going to go and have a gammon omelette. If you've seen my earlier post from today with the gammon joint of happiness, final piece of the gammon, it's all done now. I'm quite sad because it was really tasty. So any final questions? Go on, give me a little a wee something, and I'll still not give you a prize. I have no prizes to give. What could I give you? Some Egyptian magic balm, all-purpose skin cream. It's not that great. It's only all right. Okay, no questions. Thanks for tuning in, Karen, Amy, and the lovely Lisa, who's a legend, and she can, if she wants to, at some point, she's gonna tell you all about that. Those three things: the money, time, and belief part, because she is a living, breathing example of a legend that's overcome it. And Sharon, hi, lovely to see you. Okay, right, my lovelies, I am going to speak to you all soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. I don't know, in Scotland here, the tide has turned, the sun is gone, and the rain is back. But I'm not going to lie, my garden is very grateful. And in other news, my new paddle board arrived today, just in time for us to go away in the caravan on Friday. So happy days. Right, have a fantabulous evening, my loves, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.